Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your boy P-Funk Thinking Right out here in the lab. What I do for you. Got a little rain going, it's a nice little atmosphere, but I got a nice little lesson for you. Your boy's starting to get a little upset, so I'm gonna start being a little more aggressive with my philosophy. Since I'm a spiritual philosopher, I'm gonna aim it at all you ignorant, know-nothing people, because I'm starting to get a little annoyed. So let's try to get some focus here and get this lesson out without trying to insult or piss nobody off. But I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm talking about you. I'm only talking about what I see and what I know about you. I ain't got to lie. Let me know when I do that, then we can have a conversation. Other than that, shut up. Right thinking. Right isn't 25 rules to live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. There's a message in my stories for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what it is we do. Right thinking mission, and I'm on it, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinkers' way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to attain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. You see where we're going with this? Let's get that together. So I asked you the question: do you know you? You will, if you pay attention to what I tell you to do. It's all we talk. Brain freeze. You know how to answer for yourself. Tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. Excuse me. But right now, a person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. It's a lot of them. So you have to be careful, because it seems to be catching on, and it's not a good thing. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. More for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. I try, but I can't seem to get away from them. But avoid them. Why? They're dangerous. Trust me, I do. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is spiritually asleep. See, a person who knows but knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm your spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons residing in right thinkers, know thyself, and always to my yacht be true. Right thinkers. Let's talk about how self-mastery is the cure for all mental illnesses. What are you talking about? Let's talk about mental illness. I had a buddy of mine, and that's the field that she's into, and I like talking about before. Okay, I got to put that into lesson. Why? Because we don't know that we mentally ill. A lot of us, I tell you, I did medicine. This is medicine. A lot of people know they sick, mentally ill. So we try to help you out without embarrassing you or belittling you. Okay, knowing thyself will cure all mental ills, psychological imbalances, all that nonsense that y'all seem to be going through. Somebody give you a pill for this, a pill for that, a pill for that. I give you a lesson in the concept. Work on that. That's called holistic medicine. You can heal yourself. But what I give you, there's no need for pills. What? Just right thinking philosophy will do if you practice it. Trust me. Let me give you a quick breakdown on why I'm so annoyed. This is things that mentally ill people say, but you can't tell them they're mentally ill. You ask them the question, who are you? Do you know you? Oh, I'm a Christian. I'm a Muslim. I'm a Jew. I'm a Baptist. I'm Catholic. All y'all wrong. And all y'all are mentally retarded. Okay? Well, you don't know. You're ill. Why? Because the answer to the question that y'all all seem to and believe you know is wrong, wrong, wrong. I know I'm this. I know. No. Knowing you Elmer J. Fudd, you on Imagine the Yacht, don't mean you know you. You know what this thing is for? Do you know where God is? Do you know what this thing is for? Do you know you? Your character, who you are? You know about that ego thing that controls you because you're ignorant of who you really are, your higher self, Haru? Do you know that? Do you know that you are a spiritual being? The correct answer, let me give it to you right quick before I forget. The correct answer is I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. What's the purpose of the human experience? To know thyself. To go for my right thinking philosophy to get you to do just that. That's what the answer to that. So being all that means nothing at what? Judgment Day. Because you don't know you. So you will fail. Like Yoda told Luke. Sorry about that, but I had to get that out. I'm starting to get real annoyed. I got this on the side, this little, little tidbit. But I'm starting to get annoyed. People teaching don't know who the hell they are, but they teaching. Teaching what? Nonsense. I teach the truth. Nobody wants to hear that. Why? They don't want to deal with it. That's a you problem, not mine. Okay, let me get this lesson. Sorry about that, but that's how I'm coming out now. I'm tired of the nonsense. I'm letting you know. I'm not a psychiatrist by no stretch. They ain't trying to be. But I have enough knowledge of how my damn brain works. You know what I'm saying? When I start cussing, I'm frustrated and I'm expressing myself in that manner. So I got to try to calm myself down because I'm still a little annoyed. So work with me. Understand my concept. I have enough wherewithal to know how my brain works. And I work that over the years to put it to use the right way. Hence, right thinking. I use it to think right, to do right, to be right, and to help others do the same thing. And a lot of people got a problem with that. I could care less. Moving on. But that's what I do, and it's all for you. Self-knowledge is the cure of what? Ignorance. Self-ignorance. If you're ignorant, that means you don't know. Knowledge means you know. Now you just took care of the problem. That's alchemy. Changing from one thing to another. Ignorant to knowledge, that's spiritual alchemy. Knowledge alchemy, whatever you want to call it, but it's a change. Caterpillars change. We all babies change. Everything changes for a reason. And if you don't, you're going to what? Get passed by. Simple as that. But being ignorant, you can take care of that problem by what? Getting knowledge. Knowledge is the cure for all ignorance. But a lot of us would rather what? Believe than know. If you follow a religion, that means you believe it. You ain't knowing. I practice a philosophy to get you to what? To know, not to believe. With what? Practice of what? Doing the things that will get you noticed by what? God, nature. Fall right on in. Called being in sync. Okay, and living in harmony with nature. Y'all want to fight nature and think you're going to win. Never win. Right thinking philosophy, again, is a philosophy that helps what? Stop addictions of all kinds and bad actions at all times, anytime. Why? And it institutes righteous living. If you're doing the right thing, you ain't got time for all the other stuff. That's why. And if you don't know what sex you are, you need some right thinking. Simple. Come on, these are things that psychologically need to be dealt with, but we deal with it with pills. And I don't mind the therapy. I don't mind the psychiatrist sitting down. Okay, but we really got to get away from taking something, every little thing, taking something. That's not the answer. In the Eastern, they deal with their medicine from herbs and plants, so there's no side effects. Everything the man give you here, it's got a side effect that ain't going to be good to you. You going to heal me at one thing, but mess me up by something else? I take my chances. Moving on. So understand that. Again, this is all having knowledge of self. Know how your body works, why it works. Those are things that you need to know about. Not what John doing down the street. Not how much she sleep with, how many men she sleep with. Oh, that nonsense. Or what's going on with the latest sitcom bull crap. Y'all call that life. Yeah. That's constant drama. That's ignorance. Y'all living on the ignorant level. I communicate with my higher self through what? Meditation daily. And I don't need a drug to do that. I can sit quietly and go into the next level. I'm talking to guys high on the drug. Man, it takes me to the next level. I'm going to the next level. I don't need the drug to do that. Simple. If you can't use this is the best machine ever known to man. It ain't nothing better than this. And if you ain't using it right, that's your problem. Not this. Well, it's just here for you to use. If you don't use it, that's not. If the car goes 160, that means it must have performed to go 160 because you can't handle take it at 160. That ain't the car's problem. And some people try it and find out what later on they can't handle it. Too late. Know your limit. Live within the limit. That's all. A lot of us live above our means and think that's normal. Do best with less. That's when you less stress. Why? You got a whole bunch of stuff to worry about. I simplify my life, cut off all that nonsense. No, just the essentials. A lot of us think essentials is extravagance. Nah, simple. I'm a simple dude, so it's easy for me. A lot of people, it ain't that easy. I understand because of the mindset. And when you're ignorant of yourself, that mindset means you are on the material plane. You want. And when you're ignorant of yourself, that's a major form of what? Mental illness. I ain't crazy. No. That's the number one problem with people who are mentally ill due to their ignorance. They don't see it that way because of the ignorance. As I say, an ignorant person believes whatever, so you can't deal with them. Leave them alone. And it's, so many of them, it's hard because you're going to bump into somebody where you're going to hit the head. Hard to find a good conversation with somebody who got their head on straight. And it's a pleasure to talk to some young people who really get it early in life. Man, okay, we need more of them. So I just say that to meet some young people who I'm impressed with, how they handle themselves. We are what we believe we are. No matter what the hell you think, feel, or want, that's just the bottom line. Trust me on that one. If you believe you ain't all that, you ain't gonna be all that. If you truly believe you all that, then you're gonna make that happen. That's the power of belief. And the powers, people who run the belief system, they know that. So they can give you a lie and you're gonna manifest that lie. Why? Because you believe it to be true. What happens when you feel like that, what you believe was true, that was a lie? It's called awakening. That's called awakening. That's the enlightening. Whoa. Yeah, hello? But I thought, I don't give a damn what you thought. What do you know? Tell me what you know. I can't find nobody to have a conversation with because they always want to deal with what they thought, what they heard, and what they believe. Jesus Christ. Again, y'all understand the expression. Y'all don't know Jack. Listening to you talk, I know that. What? I'm listening to you. Can you say the same thing about me if you listen to me? That's the difference. Again, I ain't got a problem with what I do. A form of mental illness, psychosis, believing you are and going through delusions of grandeur. A lot of us live in that state of mind. And because nobody challenges them on it, they get away with it. Perpetrating, being somebody, think they're somebody who they're really not. But so nobody call them out on it. That's the elephant in the room. No, you ain't. No, you're not. No, you're not. Nobody wants to say that. Moving on. You know them guys? Well, nobody stop them. A form of mental illness is living in delusional grandeur of oneself. The same thing, or what? Thinking and acting the same way, expecting a different result. If you are stuck on stupid, or caught in your own world, nothing changes except what? The days, the people. You still stuck in your mind. You ain't went nowhere. But in your mind, you moving and grooving. People look at you, this nigga crazy. But a lot of that's going on. And this younger generation, y'all seem to relish in that. Y'all, And then we didn't get to I ain't even got to the drug use yet. We ain't got there yet. I'm still talking about ignorance. I ain't even got to the fact that you compound the problem with what? With drug use, alcohol use, indulgence, and things that not helping your mental state of mind one bit. Yeah, I'm upset. If you need to drink, smoke, sniff, whatever it is you do to yourself to be, you are mentally ill. Okay, you are dependent. You have an addiction. That's a crutch. You are what? Independent of your own self. You need help to be yourself. That's never good for a person who's doing that. They used to have psychiatric hospitals for those who stress out, overworked, whatever. But they don't have them no more. So now y'all free to y'all just out here. The most of it, no. Back in my day, if you stand on the corner talking to yourself and nobody around, somebody come get you. Why? A few things and something, they catch people now running around here naked, tomorrow I'm going to God, all that nonsense. Why? It's a drug. That ain't normal. That's not normal. First of all, when you bring that drug into the psychological concept that you got of delusions of grandeur already from ignorance, now you got a problem. Now they're under the influence and they are. When I was coming up, we used drugs for recreational use. I know I had two brothers, functioning junkies, straight junkies, but they would go to work all week. Friday, get their money, pay their rent, and they go to the shooting gallery. No, it's a shooting gallery. That's the house where you go. They call it crack houses now. But back then, shooting gallery for people to shoot heroin. And they sit there, and I'm 13 years old, watching my older brothers teach me about what not to do. But at the same time, they're sitting there doing it. I never got over that. But no, to this day, I've never put that nonsense in my arm. I've never put a needle in my arm. You better be taking blood or give me some shot. I'm not doing that nonsense. I left here in 75, go to college in August. I left in August, come back in December. The guys I sat around with, they sat around tying up. I left them alone. Simple. That was an easy decision to make. So drugs has always been a problem. That what? If you involve yourself in them, you got a problem. People who don't do drugs don't have a drug problem. They may have an alcohol problem, but whatever it is, a chasing women problem, whatever it is, it's an addiction that when you can't control yourself from doing it, that's mental illness. You need help. All right, okay, see? Jail was supposed to be for rehabilitation for people who need help from what? Robbing, stealing, and killing and cheating. Jail now is just a place to sit you down and hopefully you figure it out. Moving on. That's why they come out. They do the same thing. They said 2 out of every 3 come back. When I left out, 3 of us said, y'all must come back. Well, I'm not. I'm that one. I'm with my man Django. My man talked crap. Everything he said was full of crap. But one thing he said, I'm that one nigga that went out of whatever it is. Yeah, I'm him. That's how I feel about going back to prison. No, I'm doing that. So you can say what you want. The statistics, they don't care. Moving on, but that's this little thing. I was a drug dealer. I made money selling drugs, using them was just par for the course. I just enjoyed getting high and doing high well. I just enjoyed being that way. I didn't need it. Again, I enjoyed it. When it was done, undone. I don't have a desire to, I got to do this. Never had that. That's just, you can't function like that. I never had that problem. Okay, so no. We called it, back then, we called it recreational use. You work all week, to let your head down on Friday and Sunday, come back home and get ready for the work week. Y'all just go, just keep going. We had a pill, 72-hour pill, Black Beauty. You eat that thing on Friday night, till Monday. You high as Georgia pine. And it's for 3 days. My man said, no, I said, okay, yeah, see me in 3 days. He took it on July 1st. He came to me July 4th and said, man, I said, I know, I told you, didn't I? But didn't I tell you that 3 days ago? Didn't I tell you that? Again, I was one of them old school dudes. When I give it to you, I'll tell you what it's going to do. I'll tell you how it's going to do, and I'll explain it to you best I can. I didn't just tell it to you. No, some people knew. So I was, a pharmacist when it comes to the drug game back in the day. So I knew drugs, okay? Again, but to be somebody who depended on them, never, ever that. To me, that's just weak. And back in the day, if you gave into the drug, it was temporary. At least you would still function. Why? You need money. You got to go to work. I don't know how y'all got these daily habits and ain't making no money. That's another lesson. I ain't got time. But mental illness is when you thinking one thing and believing something else, and you're just wrong. You got an illness. There's an illness. I don't know what generation drug y'all doing now. They got a whole bunch of names for them, this, that, and the third. But to me, they're still drugs. And if you in that game, that's Russian roulette. Fentanyl, whatever that poison gets you, whatever. If you in that, you run the risk. If you ain't, that's least of my concern. That's what I'm trying to say. So my empathy for people who use drugs, I don't have a problem with you, but I'm not empathetic when you kill yourself using drugs. I got a personal issue with that from a child. So my best aunt OD. So I know about them things. Okay, I know that take your life. I'm not doing that. Simple as that. I wouldn't sell it either. My man said, you sold poison. No, I sold cocaine, marijuana, pills, but not no heroin. Never. Moving on. I ain't do it. So I couldn't sell what I didn't do. That was my philosophy. Let me wrap this up. But I'm getting annoyed, so let me get back to this lesson, try to rip you out a new one when I can get it in. But watch this. We call it, I don't know what y'all doing now today, but you don't care what. I'm not doing it. I ain't saw them, so I don't know what y'all do. Okay. I'm hearing crazy stories about the drugs y'all doing, that Molly, and I wonder, who the hell is Molly? Molly Percocet. Who the hell? I don't know about none of this stuff. That's some new to me. I'm so far from that drug game, I don't know about that. But I hear the stories, and they horror stories. Right thinking is the cure for what? Mental illness and addictions. Why? Because it takes care of ignorance. It's giving you enlightenment. It's giving you information that will help you make better decisions. That's why knowing right from wrong is cool. Being able to make the right decision is even better. That's the purpose of right thinking philosophy. Hold yourself accountable to what? Do what's right. If you know what's right and what's wrong, why would you gonna do what's wrong? Did that. Don't work. Didn't for us, it won't for you. That's why I didn't teach it to my son. I had to worry about that. No, I ain't gonna worry about why that ain't gonna work. No, don't worry about no, keep going that way. All right. That's how you deter people from doing what you know is wrong. Try to help them. That's what I'm here doing what I'm doing now. And when you're able to hold yourself accountable, which is right thing philosophy does, to do what? The right thing. When you're put into situations in life, just do what's right. You think I'm crazy, I'm trying to be perfect. No, I hold myself accountable to do right and conduct myself in a respectful manner at all times. I didn't always have that concept. And most ignorant people definitely don't. I was ignorant. Again, I know firsthand. Every person is responsible for what? Their decision making in life, whether it be wrong or right. It's your decision. You got to live with the decision you make. And if you have knowledge of self, you got knowledge and understanding, self-mastery, you make better decisions and you'll be rewarded for that. We call them blessings. Some people like to seem to be going, because they're living right. They're doing things they're supposed to do, and they in sync with nature. God puts stuff in their path. If you got adversities in your path, man, you just got minefield, poosh, alias, poosh. Why? You causing your own problem. You the biggest problem to yourself. Being ignorant of yourself. That's my point. My whole goal is to get you out of that mindset. And right thinking philosophy tries to teach you just that. But it's only two ways in life to get things done. The right way and the wrong way. How you know the difference? Well, wait, I had the conversation. Let me explain to you what the right way is. The wrong way is when it constantly gets worse. The right way is when it gets better. Simple. If what you're doing making it worse, stop doing that and do something else. Why? That's the wrong way. So try the other way. Simple. Again, a philosophy ain't argumentative. It ain't emotional. No, it's a fact that you just got to understand. If you can't follow it, then that's on you. But philosophy stays what it is. I practice and follow to the law. Why? That's the only way it's going to work. Bending and sweat. No, my yacht don't move. So I'm not giving. Mentally ill people will show their mental illness when? Daily. Why? That's all they got. They ain't got nothing else. By what? By doing the same wrong action, same wrong words, the same wrong attitude, same wrong approach, and expect something different to happen. That's basically insanity. And y'all live in that mode. So you got a bunch of crazy people walking around here, don't even know they're crazy. Moving on, that's my point about the mental illness. And with self-mastery, it cures you from all of that nonsense. Ignorance is the main key. Knowledge, study, practice, implement, and change. The other way don't. Talking does nothing. Right thinkers, you will do what's wrong when. We ain't perfect. If I do something wrong by accident, I'm going to correct that. That's what right thinking philosophy is all about. We ain't perfect, but we're not continuously doing the same dumb thing. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. We learn from the mistakes. When we realize it's wrong, what we do, we correct it. Personal. Take it personal. Why? It's you. Take it personal and correct it, and that take care of self. You can't control nobody else. You can't manipulate nobody else, but you can control you in whatever situation that you're involved in, and whoever you're involved with it with, you got no responsibility for them, just yourself. Stop trying to appease or please or whatever it is you're doing. Just be you. If I can't be myself, like my man Ray Higgins, I'm so glad I can be myself. I ain't never been nobody else. Me and my dude was just talking the other day. He's always been him. I said, dude, I've known you since we was kids. You the same dude. introspective, keep his perspective, do what he do, and what works for him. We laughing because he wanted to be me. We out hanging out, doing what we do. We young. We out in Tennessee playing basketball on the court. Now I would play with him or pick him. I know if he gonna hustle and work, he gonna give me the ball. We down 10-4. Game is 11. We get to score 10-10. I get the ball. I get it to my dude. I just know I'm about to do my thing. He said, man, I want to be like you for once in my life. I want to be the hero. I want them to carry me off the court. He shot it. He missed. We didn't. How that feel? Because, okay, if you want me to go, you got to be able to take the beat up that comes with it. So you put yourself out there, dude. I got us to 10. I'm not done. One more. Just one more. But again, that's personal. But yeah, as I said, mental illness comes in all different shapes and forms. But when you have that ego thing, everybody have it. Every now and then, it wants what it wants. And when you make that bad decision, just live with it. And to this day, he's still living with it. I got to we laugh so hard. Yeah, but he let me know, man, I wanted to be the hero for once. Okay? That's my dude. Still my dude to this day. We laugh. All right, but right here, where you at? When you realize what you did was wrong, you just correct it and you move on. That's it. I hear people give me the same 40-year-old goddamn story. I'm tired of hearing that story. Excuse me, but stop telling the same damn story. Do something about it. Move on. Wrapping it up. Again, I appreciate you. I'm getting a little annoyed. Let me take it in. If you're ignorant, and none of y'all are, of who you are, and that's not my problem, I'm just trying to help. I see the problem. My job is trying to help. And AKA, don't know thyself, you are mentally ill. It's not personal. Think about it. Do you know you? Half of people don't know the zodiac sign. Half of people don't care about the zodiac. But all those is qualities and characteristics of yourself that's already been laid out for you. You got to pay attention. That's why I study. What? We ain't the first to do this. Come on, man. That's dumb. Okay, moving on. That I'm not. If you know about you, if all you know about you, excuse me, I was missing that. If all you know about you is your name, your sex, your bad habits, your good habits, your birthday, that ain't knowing you. You don't know jack. You just got ideas and concepts. But do you know why you are the way you are? Do you know why you believe what you believe? Do you know why you do what it is you do? Do you know why you're doing what you're doing? Do you know about those things? Qualities that you can implement for yourself, learn, practice, and implement and manifest for yourself. What? The truth. If you don't know the truth right now, you mentally ill. Simple as that. You ain't free. Why? If you don't know the truth sets you free. Truth is knowing thyself. See where I'm going with this? You can't get away from me. I have what I know to be self-mastery, a.k.a. knowledge of self. That's the knowledge that you need that will what? Cure your ignorance of yourself and your higher self. First of all, that's the first thing you need to take care of. Not believing in God, having knowledge of God is for what? You belief system followers. Y'all would rather have somebody tell you about God than somebody instruct you on how to get God's attention. I'm doing it that way. A pastor do it the other way. But we're doing the same thing. Whichever choice you make, but get to God. I don't care how you get there. My thing is very different how you get there. I know around what? I'm there. That's what I can tell you. That I do know. Okay? And that will also cure what? Self-ignorance. That's the major problem of mental illness. If you're led by your ego self, lower nature, that's the part that's the problem with most of y'all. Your lower ego self, you are God blind. You don't have a clue about God. You just can say you believe in God, but you're not living, doing, or being, or worshiping God. You're doing yourself. That's self-grandizing, okay? Grandiose yourself. You can bless you. You can get all the material stuff you want, have all the material physical pleasures you want, but you can't bless you. So you're just spinning your wheels like most people do. That means you are what? Really mentally ill. No matter how you slice that pie, I break it down to you with facts. I'm not here to argue, debate. I'm just here to point the mirror and put it in your face. Look at yourself. See yourself, okay? And now know yourself by what? Changing and being your best self. Because obviously, you like the way you look? If you're led by the ego self, you're not going to like the way you look in the mirror. That's why y'all avoid looking at yourself. Why? Because you don't make the way you look. Because the things that you do, if you don't feel good about it, my mother-in-law, my spiritual mother, this is what I love about her. She said she never felt good doing stuff that wasn't right. I said, Mom, that's my yacht. She said, well, I said, yeah, you lived it. You didn't read it. You didn't go to Egypt. You didn't do that nonsense like I did. But you lived it for yourself. So I can identify with it. Why? I studied and I read it. That's what they say. I can't say that. I did bad stuff willingly, continuously. So I can't make that statement. And it behooves me to have somebody to say that. I'm like, really? Now that I'm doing the right thing, I understand from my perspective now. So yeah, different. Wrapping it up again. I appreciate you tuning in. Wow, I know it's gonna take this long, but yeah, sometimes I gotta do what I gotta do, especially when it's to you and I'm doing you. Knowing thyself is the pill that you need to cure your lack of knowledge ills. That's the lesson. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you take heed to it and what? Start practicing what? Self-healing. Cure yourself with what? Knowledge of self. Get it. I'm here every day for you. Tune in again. I'll be right back. But in closing, right thing is maybe you all there to be 100. Me, 100 minus a day. So I never let my right thinkers who starting to know themselves and passed away. Do what you got to do.